All right, so I'm going to put a graph on the screen right here for you to look at. I thought this was really, really interesting. I found this the other day. It's pretty much showing the trend of people searching up how to quit social media on Google. And as you can see, right now it's higher than it's ever been. If you go to just 2021, there are less than half of the searches as there are today, which means, and this is not even including people that don't decide to go on Google and search this, but this is really showing that in just the past 4 years, there has become an insane amount of awareness around social media being harmful, which is just the fact of the matter. I think we all know this. But my question about all of this and what got me thinking is, if social media is so widely accepted as destructive, and we're starting to finally realize that, especially us young people in America, it's like, if we're realizing this, then why is no one actually quitting it? You look at data like this and you're like, yeah, it makes sense. But then you go outside in your daily life and you just look around, you go to the grocery store, you hang out with your friends, you go to work, you go to school, whatever it might be. And it doesn't seem like anyone's actually trying to quit this. It's almost like people just accept it as their fate, that like they're going to be on their phones for, 4 or 5 hours a day for the rest of their life. It's like that's just what they think is normal now. And this is very, 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 very dangerous in very obvious ways. But I was thinking about, what could be the main reason why? What could be the big thing that is holding people back from finally quitting social media? Because the obvious thing is, if you're aware that something is bad for you, you should want to stop it, right? Like, that's the logical thing. If something is destructive and it's harming you and it's taking time out of your day, eventually your lifetime, it's like, wouldn't you want to stop that? But that doesn't seem to be the case with things like social media, which is arguably the most addictive object of all time because it's so normalized. But I was thinking about this, right? And I feel like I finally figured out what it was that made quitting social media so damn hard. And pretty much summed up what this reason I found is that it's not relatable. Quitting social media in 2025 and probably 2026 as well, it's only going to get worse, is that quitting social media is not relatable. You feel like the odd one out. You feel like you're being like obsessed and you're being weird and you're being different just because you want to not have an Instagram anymore, or not have a TikTok anymore. Some people might feel like they're going to be seen by their friends as this antisocial person that wants to disconnect from everyone. And that's how it feels. That's how it felt for me for the longest time. I was like, why is there this feeling I get, this like terrible feeling I get thinking about quitting social media? It's almost like it's FOMO. Like you genuinely get the fear of missing out when just thinking about deleting social media, even though it's quite literally the opposite. Like, you're literally missing out on your life more by being on your phone. It's not that you're going to miss out by deleting social media. It's all an illusion and it's all in your head. And one thing that's really interesting that I've found with a lot of addictions, just through my own personal experience, is that once you get so deep into an addiction, your brain starts to actually trick you and trying to almost like talk with you and tell you that this thing is more important for you than it actually is. Like, that's how you know you're deep into an addiction. You start justifying why you're doing it. It's one thing to admit that it's bad for you, but sometimes you'll get so deep into an addiction that you start justifying why it's good for you, even though deep down you know it's not good. But yeah, the main point I'm trying to make is I realized it's because it wasn't relatable. Like, it's not cool. It's not normal. Like, I can't think of any better words. It's just not normal to quit social media. Like, that's the point we've gotten to in society. It's very unfortunate, but that's just the reality. And I'm not trying to sound like a pessimist. I try to be as optimistic as I possibly can. And speaking of optimism, I truly think that if we can get enough people, especially young people like in Gen Z in America, if we can get enough people together to be like, hey, we all agree this is terrible for us, and we're all going to like work together to get rid of this addiction once and for all, and get our attention back, get our life back, get our focus back, spend more time on things that actually matter to us, like getting those skills down we've been trying to get for years, learning that new language, going out, making more friends, discovering more cool spots in your city, exercising more, getting better at that sport, picking up that instrument, like you name it. Like we all, like even starting a business, we all have these desires we want to, fulfill. But it's like, it's not just the time aspect that's holding you back from social media. It's not just the amount of time you're wasting. It's that it's literally altering your brain chemistry, and it's wiring your brain to not want to achieve bigger things. Like that's what I'm trying to get at. This is very important stuff. It's not, people just like, most people think it's just the amount of time they're wasting. Like that's obviously a huge problem. That's one of the biggest problems. But it's also that your brain is being rewired to only want things that can be given to you instantly. Whereas if you look at literally anything actually fulfilling in life, anything actually productive, healthy for you, it doesn't happen instantly. Like we all know, like this type of stuff takes time. But social media is quite literally the opposite. So going back to the main point about people getting together, I tried looking for different, online communities, group chats, networking groups, things like that around this topic, around like, it seems like a big enough, obvious topic, like getting off social media, going outside more, connecting with people that are also on that same path and have that same vision. It sounds so obvious and apparent that, you'd find something like this, especially for young people. But I was looking around and I figured out that there's pretty much nothing like this. There is pretty much no group that's actually free, has high quality people in it that actually share the same vision of strengthening our in-person relationships, getting more skill sets under our belt, going outside more, being in nature more, reading books more, becoming smarter. It's like all these different things. The group will either cost $4,000 or $2,000 to join, or it doesn't have high quality people like I just mentioned. It's super inactive, has a bunch of bots, and has people from the ages of like 60 to like 15. And so the way I see it is like the way to make the most progress in the shortest amount of time is to have a group where it's all people in the same age group, guys and girls, that are preferably living in the same country, the US. And the common vision is we're going to help each other get our time back, get our attention back, get our life back, and make more time for the stuff that we actually want. And the reason why a group would work so well, even if it's online in the beginning, is because that whole relatability issue is out the window. Because now you have people you can actually relate to that are around your age. And after looking for literally months for a group like this, I realized, okay, if it's this hard to find, then why don't I just start something like this? I would make it completely free, no strings attached. I would make it for the younger generation in America, so Gen Z right now. It'd be for guys and girls, and the main vision of this group is, again, to go outside more, get offline more, find people that you can actually resonate with that don't want their life to be taken over by all these distractions, social media, the news, politics, wars in the comment sections, arguments, all that kind of stuff. And to pretty much make it like your new normal. Because there is quite literally zero downside to something like that. Zero downside. It's only going to help your life. And I wish someone made something like this years ago, but it seems like one of those situations where it's such a huge problem, yet there are very few solutions for it. And so I created a group. I said, you know what? I'll take the leap of faith and actually create this group. And I'm calling it the offline group. Now, yes, I've gotten some comments in my older videos, people saying, oh, you're creating an online group that's called the offline group. Yes, because obviously that's how you get people together first. Initially, the easiest way to meet people, and actually one of the positive sides of the internet, is that you can meet people very quickly. You can meet people that relate to you, resonate with you, have similar values to you. And so, yes, the group would initially be online to where everyone can get to know each other, have that same vision, relate to each other, help each other out, have that thing you've been lacking in your normal circle your whole life. And then eventually the goal is to start meeting in person and then slowly and slowly start taking away these distractions in social media. It's a very simple process. And I think this will be one of the greatest things that Gen Z will ever have. And I don't just hope that you join this group. I hope that more people actually make groups like this. And that can be proof to you that I'm not doing this for me. Like, I'm not doing this for my own interests because, first of all, I'm not making a penny off of this. Second of all, it's only going to help everyone that's in the group. Like, it's only going to be productivity tools that you're going to share with other people that you've been using. I actually put a bunch of my own tools I've been using to save me God knows how many hours of screen time. I'm linking all those tools in the group. People are going to share their own experiences. They're going to relate to you. They're going to be a similar age to you. They're going to be living in the US, guys and girls. And yeah, I mean, to say it again, I hope that more people can see what I'm doing and not just join this group, but to also start creating more communities like this. Because it just blew my mind how huge of an issue this is and how little solutions there actually are. There are tons of groups out there online for things like certain business models, industries, certain jobs, certain arts, music, creativity, things of that nature, right? There's a lot of groups for academics, for sports, tons of online communities for that kind of stuff. But it's like, what about the thing that's arguably the biggest problem in modern day society, which is social media and excessive use of the internet? Of course, I will clarify, there are good parts of the internet. I also got some comments on this, but like, there are good sides of the internet. Platforms like Discord, WhatsApp, like all these group apps, Reddit sometimes, like these are mostly good platforms because really the only thing you're going to do on there is talk to other people. You're not doom scrolling on Discord. You're not doom scrolling on WhatsApp or Reddit. Like, there are obviously good sides of the internet. Like, don't take this to the other extreme, right? But in an ideal world, we would take the benefits of the internet, the good sides of it, the good services, and simply throw out the bad ones. Throw out the ones that are killing our time, killing our focus, killing our attention. Just throw it out. And that includes things like Instagram, TikTok, social media, Snapchat, really everything. Everything in terms of social media and excessive content. Now, YouTube is one of the you can call it less bad platforms because you have videos like these that are long-term or long form rather, and people just really share more of what they think. People share their passions on this app more. It doesn't fry your brain. So YouTube is a bit of a better option, which is why I chose to make content on here. But yeah, I'm calling this group the offline group because that's the end goal. We get everyone together. And I'll make this clear. If you don't think social media is a problem in your life, then don't join. I actually don't want you to join. I only want people that genuinely realize how much of a problem this is in their daily life. Like, they're literally losing time, they're losing attention, they're losing their focus, and they're seeing the results of it. And all you have to do is be proactive. Just be like, you know what? I'm not doing this anymore. That's all it takes. It's just to realize, okay, I'm done with this. And having a community like the offline community is a way to make that a long-term decision. Because you can say you want to quit now. You can delete your apps for a day. But there's a very good chance you're going to get back on those apps because they're designed to be so damn addictive. So that's what I did. I created the offline group. I'm going to link the Discord link in the bottom of the video in the description if you're interested in something like that. Because it's free, I do ask a few questions before you join. You have to be manually accepted. Simple questions like, what's your name? Where are you from? Where are you based? what you hope to get out of the group, things like that, just so I can get a better idea of like who you are and what you want out of the group, really, just so I can make the group even better. So that was my realization, and I thank you for watching through this entire video. You know, it's not very common that young people can watch long-term videos like this or long-form videos, but I think this group is going to be one of the greatest things that has ever happened to Gen Z, and it can finally be the slightest sign of hope. You know, in the age of AI and things only getting more dramatic, more hard to differentiate, it's like you have to realize that social media is like a dead end road. Like, it's not going to get better. And it's not even going to stay the same. It's only going to get worse. Like, that is a concrete fact. It's only going to get worse. So if you've always dreamt about like living this offline life and starting a family in the future and just living in nature and having this peaceful, slow, wonderful life, if you've always thought about that and dreamt about that, the first step to actually getting there, believe it or not, is to break your reliance on these social media apps and to break your reliance on a lot of the internet. There are still good parts of the internet, but you have to break your reliance on a lot of it. And then that's the only way you can clear the page to start doing stuff outside. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have for this video. Again, I thank you for staying till the end. The link for the offline group is going to be in the description below this video. And yeah, if you like this kind of content, definitely subscribe. If you like the vision, you like this whole mission that I'm trying to put forward. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video.